I'm Caroline with WCAT.
Hello, I'm Jackson Alexander here with WCAT.
Hi, I'm Drew Lingle.
Hello, I'm Ramsey Clyde.
Hi, I'm Jack Balloon.
Hi, I'm Alexa Tamaris.
Hi, I'm Braden Smith.
I'm Steffi Howard.
Hi, I'm Ashley Ray, and I'm interviewing Just Add Water, an improv group from Yale.
And I'm here with Julie Williams, former soap opera actress on As the World Turns.
I'm with Martha Dalton, a radio journalist and personnel for NPR Atlanta.
I'm here with
Harry Patterson. So I'm the production manager for the TV station.
I'm with Miss Mamrak, who is a Westminster alum and works in the film and TV industry in Los Angeles.
And I'm here with Ashley Campbell, who is an alum of Westminster and is in the TV and film industry.
I'm here with a Westminster alum, Ken Feinberg, who is a director and producer. He has a studio here in Atlanta called Creative Studios of Atlanta.
So how did you get started acting?
I didn't start acting until I was in college, and I did a play, The Children's Hour. I played Martha, and I thought I was pretty good, so I decided to become an actress.
So how did you get involved in the television business?
Actually, as a kid, they had a television broadcast for the church I went to, and I ran camera for that and got really interested. And so as a 15-year-old, I was running camera, and a local Atlanta director was helping us with that, and so he encouraged me, and I moved on up from there. I worked in nightly newscast and directed that, and then I started here 23 years ago just as a cameraman and worked on up, shot documentaries and did whatever needed to be done, and eventually became production manager probably 15 years ago.
How did you get into the TV and film industry?
Well, I switched careers late in life. I was 43 when I sat my first acting class. I had been a manager for sales manager for a pharmaceutical company, and when that job changed, I decided I hear you laughing. I decided, I'm going to try something completely different and creative, and I just started taking acting classes.
I went to Michigan for University of Michigan for undergrad, and then I went to the University of Southern California for graduate school for film and television production.
I was interested in improv because I did theater all throughout high school, and then I was like, I wish I could do something like theater without all the practice and rehearsal in front of it. I don't have to learn or memorize anything, and it's new every time I do it.
Well, it all started back at Westminster. I was in the drama club here, and I did a bunch of theater while I was here, and then went to college at the University of Georgia, where I studied filmmaking and acting. And then my journey took me to New York and then LA, where I acted in a bunch of television shows, and I started producing films. And I came back to Atlanta after a number of years, and I'm producing even more films, and I'm training actors here in town.
As a theater critic, as kind of was a natural evolution from my lifelong love of theater as an actor, as a teacher, as a director. And I've been involved in that literally just virtually my whole life. As a long-time theater goer, I've been fortunate enough to see many, many plays in New York. I used to live there. But beyond that, some years ago, I just, with one of these chance meetings in life, I met this lady who was the editor at the time of Atlanta in Town, and just started chatting. And I said, well, do you have anybody who writes reviews? She says, no, we don't. And so a star was born, me. No, anyway, and I've seen a lot of great shows.
I got into it, I used to watch Whose Line Is It Anyway, and sort of how a lot of people got exposed to it. But then I came to Yale and I saw Jaw for the first time, and I just thought it was really impressive what they did to be able to come up with things on the spot and sort of react under pressure. Just looked really impressive to me, and so I wanted to get into it, and it wound up being much more than that, though.
I actually started when I was really young, doing that exact same thing. I was doing theater at churches and at the Alliance Theater and with all kinds of different groups, and working on my skills like monologues and doing things like dancing and taking voice lessons. Any of that helps you become a more ready actor. You can kind of do anything that you're asked to do.
Do you have any advice for aspiring actors and actresses?
Just never stop working. Never stop training. You're never, you're not going to be as good as you're going to be unless you keep, just got to keep plugging away, taking lessons, working. Just don't stop.
don't stop.
I would say to any student that, and you may not realize this now, but your background will definitely help you whatever you decide to do. I never could have guessed that as a journalist, I'd be kind of calling on all of these different things I've learned over the years. You really do use everything, things that you don't expect.
I would say take as many classes as you can around town. Nothing that costs too much money, but just a couple sessions with really reputable groups. Also, do a lot of community theater. That's the best way to gain experience. The more times you can actually get on stage, the better. At school, at your church. There's tons of places out in the community for you to get involved. So just do it as much as you can.
How did your experience in the Westminster Theater Department lead to what you do now?
Westminster was really formative in terms of teaching me to be a creative person and falling in love with telling stories and all aspects of theater, film, television, everything in terms of just what it means and how important it is in our culture and why we need it so much.
Are there any certain changes on the campus that you've seen so far since you've been here?
Well, it's hardly been any time since I graduated, but there are a lot of changes, actually, yes. In fact, I was getting a little bit confused when I drove up this morning because I mistook what used to be the girls' school parking lot is now something else now, I think. So it's very different, but it looks wonderful.
Well, let's see. Obviously, the campus looks very similar, but it's different enough that I had a hard time finding my way when they told me to come to Askew Hall because we called it the girls' school, the administration building, and that's in the parking lot, etc. So definitely the campus has changed a lot. But for the most part, for me, when I walked through the doors, it felt exactly the same.
So, can you guys tell me your names?
Fred. I'm Sam.
My name is Al.
My name is Josh.
My name's Cameron.
My name is Sam.
That's great. What are your majors at Yale?
Undeclared.
Well, I first became interested in improv when I was a young boy. I was getting in a lot of trouble. I was from Torrance, California, and I started to get into trouble, and I was almost kicked out of high school, at which point I thought it would be a good thing to start running for a track team. I eventually ran in the 1936 Olympics in Berlin.
I'd just like to thank Mac and Cheese for being my inspiration. Mac and Cheese is the best. Mac and Cheese rules!
I'm Ashley Ray, signing off for WCAT. Thank you for viewing this program.
In 1938, I was drafted into the Air Force. I crashed over the Pacific, and I was taken prisoner by a POW by the Japanese after...
This beautiful group has visited our Jan term class behind the scenes.
Since then, I've become...
Tell us your names.
We like to thank our sponsorships, Mac and Cheese, and another sponsorship from Chick-fil-A and Panera for providing us with nourishment, love, and testimony.
When I returned from the war, I became interested in improv. I became a devout Christian and turned to improv. Since then, there's been a book written about me and a movie directed by Angelina Jolie. I haven't seen it.
I was in a movie directed by Christopher Nolan about mac and cheese.
I hear it's pretty good.
Thank you for watching this. Thank you. Signing off for WCAT.